So today is 1/29/25, and I did a podcast earlier today about a bee that I found in on the ground, and she didn't make it. She zipped. She must come in at night, too cold. Her wings froze up, and hypothermia, whatever. She flew right underneath that hole. She barely missed that hole. It's like she was coming in, right? She was coming in, and she had herself lined up good. She was going right towards that hole, and her wings gave up, and she went underneath the hive. It was 23 overnight low, and so I've been working on her for about, I don't know, 2 hours or an hour and a half, something. I've been working on her, trying to bring her back to life, and there she sits right there, and I put her in front of the hive. She started moving around. So what they're doing now is they're removing the pollen from her legs, because there's a lot of force. So right now it looks like there's some navigation flights going on. Either that, I just got in their way, and so they built up kind of quick. So what happened this morning was I came out, and the shade from the tree was still over the front of the entrance. So what I did was I just kind of picked up some dead bees and put them in my container. Here's a bag of dead bees there. I inspect them for diseases, varroa mites. I'll get my magnifying glasses and look for infections to see if, I need to treat or something, or just see what's happening. Just being a good beekeeper, you know what I'm saying? That's what's happening here today, you know what I'm saying? And so once that sun got past this shade of this tree, this is a peach tree. These peaches get so freaking, oh my gosh, these peaches are like, you don't see peaches like this at the store. They get so big, these peaches get so big that I can't, there's this peach picker thing I got, and the peaches are supposed to fall, or they fall into the peaches fall into this catch, and the peaches some of them are so big, yeah, I can't get up there that high with a ladder, so I just kind of knock them off and try to catch them. Sometimes I catch them, and they bruise really quick too. So what I'll do is, if they hit the ground, I'll bring them in the house, chop them up, and do a quick freeze. Eat them in the winter for, make a fruit dessert, a fruit ice cream. You take fruit that's frozen, throw some nuts in it, some things like that, mix it up, and you got yourself ice cream. A natural kind of ice cream. So they're really busy again today. This is the 29th of January, and you can see how all that food coming in there. All that food. And that girl's still laying in the front, so I saw her moving after about 2 hours. And so I decided to put her in front of the hive, and maybe, because sometimes they'll work on them and bring them back and feed them. But I think that she's so far gone, even though she's still alive, they know it. So they started peeling off the pollen off her legs. So they were like taking her foraging food. They've already taken most of it. She had quite a bit on her legs, actually. You can see how much is on the other legs of the bees there. Well, that one that's just kind of sitting there, that's how her legs looked. They were all puffy. And I watched this one bee come over and start just grabbing at the pollen on her legs and pulling it off. Then she'd go to the other side, and she started pulling pollen off the other leg. So right now it looks like I got some navigators. So these are girls that have never been out. These girls never been out in the wild, right? And those are the ones that come in kind of late sometimes. They don't do well. Sometimes they come in and they get a lot excuse me, Again, they get lost. Oh, please subscribe. Please be humble and kind and subscribe. Thumbs up. Leave a message if you want. I never know who subscribes unless you leave me a message with your email address or your phone number. I never know who subscribes. Can't contact you. Don't have no way contacting you. Subscriptions are private for you, for your safety. So that'd be awful kind of you. Help my channel grow. So you can just see all this food coming in here at the end of January here in Eugene, Oregon. Eugene, Oregon. Right now there's a lot of navigation. Oh my gosh, so these girls, a lot of these girls, they've never been outside in the wild. I'm still not sure. You can see that one bee in the center where all the bees are going around her. Yeah, I kind of worked on her for almost 2 hours. And I'll be doggone, after almost 2 hours, I seen movement. That's the longest I think I've ever worked on one bee. Maybe. I do it for curiosity, right? I'm a very curious person. And when I get a thought, I challenge the thought. If it's plausible, reasonable, practical, makes sense, give it a go. That way I'll know. And then I can show you. So they're all going around that girl that I saved. Well, maybe I saved. Sometimes what they'll do is I'll kind of revive them and I'll put them in front of the hive, and the bees come around and they feed them and they recoup. They give them back their energy, and then they go back in the hive and continue about their business. Pretty interesting. Look at all that food. Oh my gosh, in January 2025. January 2025. It's like a spring day with all that food. Holy moly. All I can say is this. Come real spring. I mean, if they're doing this in wintertime, right? If they're doing this in wintertime, in January, you can only imagine what the heck's going to happen in a few months come April. This hive is going to bomb. It's going to go nuclear. And so I'll be able to, I put a lot of empty frames in there that I built, hoping that they'd fill them in with cone. And my hope is that when I go to do my splits, they've already took those cones that had nothing. They were just a frame. And my hope is that they'll fill all those in with some cone. And so when I go to make my splits, my hope is that both these brood boxes and all the 20 frames in there will be all filled out. So when I go to make my splits, I will need 2 frames per nuke box. I built nuke box that are 2 framers. That's just to put a queen in there, put dump a bunch of nursing bees in there, and let the split happen. And so my hope is to get 8 of them by the end of summer this year. Have 8 hives. But not only that, but make little tiny splits, like make little splits and sell the queens. So I'll put a queen, I'll make a queen. I'll raise a queen and get her mated, and then keep these little tiny nukes for people who want to buy queens. Because you got people when they lose their queen, and that's the only hive they got. Their hive is dead, and it's maybe in late fall or middle winter, or So I'm gonna keep as many queens as little tiny nuke boxes throughout 12 months out of the year for people who don't have a queen. They lost their queen. Anyway, you have a nice day. Subscribe. Help me grow this channel. And I'll just keep sharing my day with you. For me, it's an exciting day every day. There's so many things to do. sometimes I feel exhausted just thinking about all the things that I want to get done, that I want to accomplish around here, right? So you have a nice day. Bye now.